Hello everyone, James is here. Welcome again to Easy English Talks podcast. If you want to watch this video faster or slower, you can adjust the playback speed. Today, we're talking about something that everyone goes through, failure. It's a word that can make people uncomfortable, but it's something we all face. The interesting part is that failure can actually become one of our greatest sources of motivation.
That's right. Failure doesn't have to mean the end of something. It can be the start of a better version of you. But the truth is, most people are afraid of failing. They see it as proof that they're not good enough.
Yes, many people think failure defines them, but in reality, failure teaches them. Every mistake, every setback gives us information about what doesn't work. It's like a guide that says, try again, but this time, do it differently.
Exactly. Think about inventors, artists, or athletes. Behind every success story, there's a long list of failures. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, but they didn't stop. They used those moments to push harder.
I think that's a great example. People often see the final success, but forget all the steps and the failures behind it. So the question is, how can we turn failure into motivation in our daily lives?
The first step is to accept it. Don't deny it and don't try to hide it. Everyone fails. It's part of being human. When you accept that, it's easier to move forward.
Yes, and I'd say the second step is to reflect on it. Instead of just feeling bad, ask yourself questions. Why did it happen? What can I do differently next time? This turns failure into a learning experience.
That's important. Reflection helps us grow. For example, if someone fails a job interview, they can reflect and realize maybe they didn't prepare enough or didn't research the company. Next time, they can fix that.
And after reflection comes the third step, action. Taking small steps to improve helps rebuild confidence. When you start moving again, your motivation comes back naturally.
Yes, and I'd like to add another point. You have to be kind to yourself. Sometimes we treat ourselves worse than we'd treat others. If a friend failed, you'd encourage them, not insult them. Do the same for yourself.
That's a great reminder. Self-compassion makes a big difference. It helps us stay motivated even when things go wrong. Failure hurts less when you see it as part of the process, not as proof of your weakness.
I agree. Another thing that helps is focusing on your why. Why did you start this journey? Why is this goal important to you? When you remember the purpose behind your actions, it becomes easier to keep going after failure.
Yes, your why is like your inner compass. For example, someone learning English might fail a speaking test, but if they remember that they want to communicate with people from other countries or work abroad, that purpose gives them energy to keep studying.
Exactly. And when they try again, they often do better. Not because everything suddenly got easier, but because they learned from the failure.
You know, it's also helpful to look at failure as redirection, not rejection. Sometimes when something doesn't work out, it's because life is guiding you towards something better.
That's a beautiful way to see it. For example, maybe you didn't get the job you wanted, but that experience might push you to apply for another position that fits you even better. Failure can close one door to open another.
True. And one practical thing people can do is keep a failure journal. Write down what went wrong and what you learned. It sounds strange, but it helps you see patterns and progress over time.
I like that idea. It changes how you see failure, not as something to hide, but as something to learn from. Plus, when you look back later, you'll realize how much you've grown.
Definitely. Another way to stay motivated is to celebrate small wins even after setbacks. Every step forward counts, no matter how small.
Yes, progress is not always big or fast. Sometimes motivation grows from noticing small improvements, like speaking one sentence more confidently than yesterday, or making fewer mistakes than before.
And we shouldn't forget about patience. Failure can make us feel impatient, like success is taking too long, but growth takes time. Every strong person you admire has been through seasons of waiting and trying again.
That's true. Patience and persistence go hand in hand. It's not about never falling. It's about getting up every time you do. That's how motivation is built, slowly but surely.
Another thing that helps is changing your perspective on failure words. Instead of saying, I failed, you can say, I learned something new. Words shape how we feel and act.
That's a smart trick. Language has power. Reframing failure in positive terms helps your mind stay open and optimistic.
You know, I once heard someone say, failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success. And that's so true. Every success story is full of failures that taught important lessons.
Absolutely. Without failure, success has no meaning. The hard times make the good times feel rewarding.
So, if someone listening right now feels like they've failed, maybe at work, in studies, or in relationships, what would you tell them?
I'd say, take a moment to breathe, forgive yourself, and look for the lesson. Don't quit. Your story isn't over. The most successful people you admire were once in your place. Failure is just one chapter, not the whole book.
That's powerful advice. I'd add that sometimes the only real failure is not trying again. As long as you keep learning and moving forward, you're already succeeding.
Yes, exactly. Turning failure into motivation is about changing how you see it, from something painful to something useful.
Let's quickly summarize. First, accept failure. Second, reflect on it. Third, take action. Fourth, remember your purpose. Fifth, be kind to yourself and stay patient. And finally, celebrate your small wins along the way.
Perfect summary. If you follow these steps, failure won't stop you, it will shape you.
And remember, success without failure is like a story without struggle. It's not real or inspiring.
So true. The key is to keep going, keep learning, and keep believing that every setback is a setup for a comeback.
That's a great way to end today's talk.
I agree. I hope everyone listening today feels more confident about facing failure and turning it into strength.
Don't forget to subscribe and share the video with your friends. Bye, and see you next time. Bye-bye.